Hello, and thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels live hospitality talk show. Hope all is well. Happy Tuesday to you. We're live today on YouTube and live on LinkedIn. So if you want to tune in at either one of those platforms, you're more than welcome to and check me out. So, and then at the same time, we're doing a podcast, right? So, well, no, I guess not at the same time, but I guess after the show's over, it becomes a podcast. And you can find that podcast on Spotify, Pocket Cast, Google Podcasts, Overcast, and Apple Podcasts. So whatever podcast platform suits your needs, we're on there. So just go On Air with Russell of Hotels and you'll be able to find me. So there you go. Connecting people and collaboration, hashtag Hospitality Unplugged. That's what we're all about. Hashtag Hospitality Unplugged means we talk about anything hospitality, in a different kind of way, because guess what? I'm a different kind of guy, right? Your personality shows when you talk about certain things, or at least my personality shows. So that's a little different. So that's why my show is probably different than any other show that you probably heard, because I'm different. Everyone's different. So everyone who has a podcast or has a talk show or whatever, they bring a different flavor to the show. So not one is better than the other. I don't even know why I'm saying all this, but anyway, but that's just how I roll. So you never know what's going to come out of my mouth. So that's why I say hashtag Hospitality Unplugged, because you don't know where I'm going to go with this stuff. But anyway, today is excuse me, Tuesday, May 18th, and it's show number 108. I always have to just take a gasp and say, show number 108. I remember when I was doing show number 1 and was nervous as heck, like, should I do this, or why am I doing this, or what am I going to talk about? And 107 shows later, I'm still doing it. And every week, when I thought that I wouldn't have anything to talk about, every week I always find or pull something out of wherever to talk about. So it's, if anyone's thinking about, and I said that to say this, anyone that's thinking about doing a podcast or radio show, like a live show, a lot of people do things on Instagram and YouTube. I say this: yes, do it, because everyone has something to bring to the table. Everyone has a story to tell. So my story is all about hospitality and my career and my path to hospitality, or what I did or how I did it. And then we interact with people that are doing it now, that are, came up differently than I did. So it's all about the story, right? It's all about the journey, how you got to where you are. So, and whatever issues you're dealing with, or whatever transparency you want to show, I mean, those things you can do. And so if you're on the fence about thinking about it, I mean, it's all the time that people, I'm thinking about doing a podcast. Well, is there too many podcasts out there? Well, I'll tell you this, I think there's several million podcasts that are out there, but only one is you, right? Only one is unique to you. So you got to think about that. We all have different people that different networks of people. Different people are going to listen, and every now and then you're going to reach people that you didn't reach before, and you never know who you can help out on your podcast, right? I mean, it can be funny. You can spin it however you want to spin it, and it's not that hard to set up. I mean, I'm basically using 3 devices. I have my iPhone, which you can see me on the iPhone. That's where the camera is. Then I have my laptop in front of me, and I have another laptop on the other side of me. So there's information on each one of them, but you can easily set this up. And I'm on my patio outside, so with a light right there. So production quality, right? Yeah, right. But anyway, so just go ahead and do it. If you're on the fence about doing a podcast, just do it. Okay, anyway, let me move forward. Industry news, 2021 Hospitality Power Index. Did you guys know that I was voted or selected or nominated or whatever, one of the most influential hospitality leaders of 2021? International Hospitality Institute. So every week I got to thank them for nominating me or selecting me. As one of it's 50, they voted on 50, right? One of the most influential hospitality leaders for 2021. So I'll thank the International Hospitality Institute for that distinction. I do appreciate it, and I mention it every week, and to anyone else is going to be listening to it. So Let me just check, make sure I have some to see if I have any comments. Thank you so much, Michelle Carlin. Michelle Carlin, she's one of my favorite people. She definitely supports On Air with Russell of Hotels, and I support her, right? So all her endeavors and things like that. So and she's helped me out tremendously. So I thank you so much, Michelle, for chiming in. Anyone else have any comments to make? And may please feel free to make the comments. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. Um, wow, so you guys got me off topic here. So you guys are thanking me, and I don't know if you know, but I was blushing. But before I get into the show, right? Check this out. A couple of weeks ago, I was on Instagram, right, and I got a DM. A DM, that means direct message for people that are, old and don't know what, a direct message on Instagram is, or a DM. So I got a direct message from this ambassador company that makes sunglasses. So, I played along with them because I was like, yeah, right, whatever. They tell me they're free or whatever, and they'll send me 5 pair of sunglasses. And all I have to do is wear them and take some pictures of them. Right? I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, I'll play along. So I did it and sent it to me. And then they actually send me 5. It took like 3 weeks, but they actually sent me like 5 pair of sunglasses to wear. So guess what? I want you guys to tell me, that's 1 pair. I only have 3 with me right now. So do I look good in these? Can somebody, you guys that are making comments, what about those? I don't really like those. Those are a little bit too bulky for me, And then these right here. So which ones you guys think? And I can't do the show either one of them because I have to be able to see. So these are ones I kind of like. I kind of think they kind of go with what I have on too, right? But thank you so much, Ambassador. Let me just, just in case they happen to be watching, I want to thank Ambassador for sending me these shades, these sunglasses, and so there you go. Let's see. And no one made any comments. I guess I don't look good in either one of them. So thank you very much, Michelle and James, for your comments on how I look in the sunglasses. I do appreciate it. So on to the show. Are hotels ready to reopen? I've been asking this for the last. I like the. Thanks, Michelle. I appreciate that. Michelle Carlin with Alignment Advising. You want to align your company or say you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to maybe find your way and trying to figure out what you need to do, or you need to be in alignment with what your mission is or what you're trying to, portray out there to the public, who you're marketing to, who you're promoting to. Check out alignmentadvising.com and send a note to Michelle Carlin, and just tell her Russell of Hotels sent you, and she'll make sure she gives you a 30-minute free consultation. Just say, give me the Russell of Hotels rate. There you go. No, Michelle Carlin, she's great. She keeps me in line, aligned as well. I've used her services at least once or twice, and she always gives me feedback whenever I ask for it. So Michelle Carlin is definitely someone you need to know, especially if you're in the entrepreneur space and you want to, launch a company or relaunch or just get some positive feedback, both negative and positive. Right now, everything is going to be great. I can tell you that because she gave it to me and it wasn't all great. You need to do this, you need to do that, and then she keeps you on task as well, right? Like, did you do this? Did you do that? Almost like my mom. You know what I mean? So alignmentadvising.com. So go ahead and check it out and just let her know that Russell of Hotel sent you. So there you go. Boom. Are you ready? Hotels, are you ready to reopen? What is your game plan? Been asked this for the last month or so. Do we have enough staff? Do we have staff on call? Are the former associates coming back? If someone called for a meeting tomorrow, would you have enough staff to handle it? These are questions that hotels or maybe restaurants or anyone that's reopening, or maybe they have reopened, but maybe they haven't reopened all aspects of the hotel. Like say their food and beverage, have they reopened their food and beverage? I understand that there's been some issues with that, meaning they don't have enough people. And I think I've been mentioning this in the last several weeks that staff, some staff are not coming back, or maybe they're taking their time to come back. Maybe, hotels and restaurants are competing with the stimulus. I mean, that could be part of it. But now that restaurants are starting to open, so like let's just say like freestanding restaurants that have nothing to do with hotels, like say your I mean, you give me a name of a restaurant, Islands, or Olive Garden, or or Fit Fleming's, or any of these places that are reopening. They opened up first, right? So now that the hotel restaurants are starting to reopen, there's a shortage of people that actually want to go back to work, right? So now you're competing with the Flemings and the Olive Gardens and the Chili's and all those restaurants, because you're competing with them for the same workforce for the most part. And from what I understand, hotels in some markets are starting to hire temp workers, temporary workers, and they're paying up to $25 an hour. They have to pay that to the company to get the employees. And normally, say just say for a housekeeper. For a housekeeper, it would be like $15 an hour, right? Well, now you got to go through an agency to find that housekeeper, and now they're charging you up to $25 an hour to get that housekeeper, right? So those are things that hospitality industry, specifically hotels, are dealing with now. A lot of people don't even know. I mean, you say a shortage, but what does that really mean, right? Well, you kind of start, peeling the layer back, and you're seeing that, okay, now we have to go through temp agencies because we don't have enough staff out there. So what are we going to do? So you got to go to the staff agency, right? And find these people, and now you're paying a lot more than what you had bargained for. So hotels, and then back to, are we going to start getting deals on hotels? Because hotels have been closed for a long time. Well, now you got to think about, if they're paying, and it's not every hotel across the board, but in certain markets, and this is LA included, and for people who did not know, I'm in Los Angeles, and some of the companies or some of the hotels here have to go through temp agencies, so it's going to cost them X amount more dollars to do that, which means maybe in certain markets the rates are not going to be the rates that we thought they're going to be. They're not going to be low rates. Like, okay, where are these low rates? Well, I always said that because hotels have lost money anyway, don't expect any great deals anytime soon, right? Regardless of what's going on, there's a certain rates that they're going to ask for, but then again, different areas will give you different rates. Like like I said, I'm in Los Angeles. The airport hotels are going to give you one particular rate. Santa Monica is going to give you another rate. Downtown is going to be another rate. The Valley hotels are going to be another rate. Any other beach cities other than Santa Monica are going to give you a different rate as well. So suburban hotels, like I just mentioned, the Valley or Orange County, the rates are all going to be different, right? So that I just mentioned 4 different, parts of a town or parts of Southern California, but they're all going to be different rates. So there you go. So it just depends on where you're going to be staying as to what rate you're going to get. So just in case you didn't know that, I just gave you a little bit of, little information there. Let's see. Did you know dishwashers are demanding $20 an hour these days? $20 an hour for a dishwasher. Hey, if there's a shortage, it's called supply and demand. If it's a shortage, you got to pay a premium to get those people in there, right? So that's one thing. And then bartenders are demanding $18 an hour plus tips. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the hospitality industry that a lot of people did not know. So that's what Russell of Hotels is about. Remember I said hashtag hospitality unplugged? What other show is going to give you that information, right? What other show host has his ear to the streets, right? I'm being silly today, but that's all right. So which hotels are not having staffing issues? If you had to guess, which hotels are not having staffing issues like other hotels are? Union hotels. This is one of the first times that you'll be glad that you're at a union hotel, right? Oh my God, I'm a GM of a union hotel. I'm glad, because guess what? Union hotels, union employees are basically, they're held to their seniority, right? So say if they chose not to come back to work, well, guess what? You're in seniority, you get bypassed, right? You're still on the list, but Now there's someone else on top of you, right? So before I had seniority over the next person. I refused or didn't want to come back to work at that time, and that person below me did. Guess who has seniority now? The person that was below me. So I have 25 years. The person below me only had 24 or 20 years, but they came back to work, and I didn't want to come back to work. So that basically knocked me down, right? And then as far as if there's other people that want to come back to work and I'm not, guess what? My seniority goes down even further. So that's what's going on here. Let's just say in LA, because there's some union hotels here, but they're not affected by this, the hiring or the lack of employees and things like that, because at least housekeeping and housekeeping in the kitchen, those and probably engineering as well, they're all under union contracts or union agreements. So it wouldn't probably affect those particular hotels that were union. So there you go. So that's just a little information for you. Want to increase your social media engagement? How do you increase your social media engagement? Just two guesses. You got two guesses. What would you say? And I've been mentioning this every week, so you guys need to know what it is. If you want to increase your social media engagement, use IG Reels, which is Instagram Reels, or do live broadcasts. I do live broadcasts just on a whim sometimes. Like last week, I think I did 2. So I'm gonna start trying to do maybe every other day, do a live about anything. And I do mine on Instagram as well. So I think I did one a couple of days ago. Had to do with I don't know, something was on my mind. Something was on. I had heard something on Clubhouse, and I said, you know what? Not that it was bothering me, but I said, you know what? There's something I can add to it. And I think the reason why I wanted to go live is because I couldn't get on and speak to them on the Clubhouse because they were at the end of the show, and they weren't allowing people to come up and talk that time, which I understand. So I said, you know what? I'll do my own live and talk about it. So you'll be amazed how many more people are looking, different sets of eyes are looking at you on a live, and how much engagement you get, and how many like questions and comments that you'll get. Not all of them good, not all of them bad, but once you open yourself up, once you do live, you do open yourself up for questions or some criticism, whatever the heck it is. But I can care less about all that. But bottom line, what I care about is the engagement and a different set of eyes are seeing you. Like it'll tell you when you look at the metrics for the live you just did, or any posting that you did, you'll see the metrics, and basically tells you, who did you reach, how many people did you reach, were they in your network already? Because you want to see the ones that are they don't even follow you, right? These are people just because of your hashtags or whatever, they are able to find you, and that's what you want. So I'm big on social media. You guys know that. So if you want to increase your social media engagements, use IG Reels, which is similar to like TikTok. It's their version of TikTok, okay? And then do live broadcasts. And then if you didn't know, YouTube has, I think what it's called, YouTube Shorts. And that's equivalent to an IG Reels or a TikTok as well, right? So this just came out. So I'm trying to keep you guys up to date on what's going on. What would prevent you from traveling in 2021? I'm fully vaccinated, so I'm good to go, right? So there you go. I won't say anything else about that. Who's hiring? The Hilton LA, Hilton Los Angeles. Okay, the one in Culver City. So there's it's rebranded. It used to be a DoubleTree. It's in Culver City. It's around the corner of Centinela and Sepulveda. So it's on the way to LAX if you're going south on Sepulveda. So they rebranded that hotel. Like I said, it used to be a God, why I'm losing my train of thought. It used to be a DoubleTree. Now it's a Hilton. So they just reflagged it. They're renovating it, and they're looking for a director of sales. So if you're interested, Hilton Los Angeles, Culver City, looking for a director of sales. Brand new hotel, practically. Crown Plaza Commerce Casino, they're looking for a director of sales and marketing. The Courtyard in Cypress, and that's Cypress, California. Okay, they're looking for a complex director of sales and marketing. So it must be multiple hotels there. If they're looking for a complex director, it must be a Courtyard and something else. And I didn't put down what the other hotel was. But anyway, if you're interested, just go to the Courtyard in Cyprus or go on LinkedIn or Indeed, and you'll find those particular positions. And then the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Costa Mesa, they're looking for a general manager. So if you're interested in those positions, please go to hcareers and indeed.com and you'll find those and probably find a couple more. But these positions, I don't go out further than a week because a lot of times, those positions may be filled already and we just don't know. So I just put it at a week, So these are 5 to 7 days old. Okay. Is your hotel open? Did you go back to work? You need to create some FOMO. If you did go back to work, if your hotel is open, how are people going to know that you're open? How are people going to know that you went back to work? Create some FOMO. What does FOMO mean? FOMO stands for fear of missing out. You don't want people to miss out on you that you went back to work. That's one. That's a great thing. And then two, that your hotel's open, it's operating, and you got these great deals or great promotions. And especially now that food and beverage operations are starting to reopen in hotels, you need to put that stuff out there because people want to know, if I'm in the area, where can I get something to eat? So there you go. So you need to make sure you create some FOMO. And how else can you do it? What platforms can you use FOMO on? It's all about social media, right? Whatever platforms you want to use, if that's LinkedIn, if that's IG, if that's YouTube, if that's Twitter, whatever, Facebook, however you want to do it, just do it. You have to do something, right? You just can't sit around and just hope people are just going to show up. Well, there's a lot of competition out there, right? There's other hotels other than yours, okay? So you may think that you're the biggest and baddest in the area, but guess what? People have options and people are not brand loyal at this point, at least. So that loyalty thing, poof, is out. So they're going to come to who's loyal to them, meaning, maybe who has the better rate, or maybe who did they see on Instagram or whatever. I mean, I hate to say it, but people are more drawn to what someone is saying on Instagram than anything else, or Instagram or any social media platform. I'm just not saying just Instagram, but any social media platform. So the more you're able to get out there and for people to see you, to hear what you're talking about, to see your brand, to see if you have promotions or hear about if you have any promotions, that resonates with people and people will remember that, right? So, but if you're not doing anything, people are not going to remember. So you just remember, I keep saying, I don't know if you guys remember, but I keep saying this, is that the way that we were doing business before is not the same way you should be doing business now. So if you weren't doing social media then, your butt need to be doing it now. Okay, there's no way around that. So embrace it, get into it. If you have questions, you can always contact me. I can steer you in the right direction. And remember this, no posting is a bad posting unless you're just throwing stuff out there that really doesn't make any sense. But because people will say, well, I think they're nervous about, I don't even know how to start. Where do I start? Okay, I want to do a live. How do I even start that? Just do it. I mean, no one sat here and gave me a guide to a podcast. No one said, hey, there's a book on podcasts. I'm sure, you know what? And I'm sure there are guides and books to podcasts, but everybody has their own flair. Everybody has their own way of learning, and everybody brings something different to the table, right? So I didn't ask anyone. Well, I did ask. Oh, let me take that back. I asked 2 people, but they just said, hey, do it. And I just figured it out on my own. So you can figure this out on your own too. So the only bad posting would be if you didn't do it at all. And that comes from Russell of Hotels. Okay, you heard that here. So create some FOMO. Use social media consistently to get your message out. Whatever your product or service is, stay relevant, and it should be a huge part of your marketing strategy. So in your marketing plan, if you don't have social media in there, you're missing a boat, people. Okay, so let's get it done. Non-meat eats. I've been wanting to share this non-meat eats thing. Excuse me while I take a, oh my goodness, what did I just do? Excuse me 1 second. I got out of what I was doing. I need a drink. Today I'm drinking, I'm like product placement today, right? Anyway, that's for the people on the podcast that can't see what I'm doing. So I just took a drink of what is this? Lipton Diet Green Tea, citrus flavor. Oh boy. So Nami Eats. Okay, for people that did not know, and I don't think I told anybody I was doing a road trip this weekend again. So this was two road trips in a row, 2 weekends in a row that I took a road trip. The first weekend, last weekend, I went to Blythe for Mother's Day for my to see my mom, and then just the other day, this past weekend, I went to Phoenix to help somebody move. Okay, I won't tell you who. It doesn't matter. So so of course, when I go out of town, I have to find non-meat eats because guess what? That's what I eat. Non-meat eats. So was in Phoenix, found this restaurant called the Vig, VIG. It's a they call it a neighborhood tavern. So I guess there's several of them in the Phoenix area, like Scottsdale, and I think three other ones throughout the greater Phoenix area. So they happen to have, I have to look at the menu before I even go to these places, right? So I look at the menu. Okay, they have some vegan, they're vegan friendly. Okay, so they had some vegan tacos. Okay, I'm like, okay, let me try the vegan tacos, maybe some chips and salsa, and have an Arnold Palmer, and I'll be good, right? So I went there, and it was very good, right? It was a vegan taco. It was made with I guess, and it's the same. They make their own like vegan patty for like a burger. So they basically use that same patty and mixed it up or chopped it up and put it into the taco, which was kind of a black bean mixture, which was very good. So thank you so much to the Vig restaurant in Phoenix. So if you're ever in Phoenix, go check out the Vig, VIG. I guess that maybe I don't know what that stands for, Vig, but it doesn't matter, but it was pretty good. The chips and salsa was very good, very flavorful. Not, it's kind of middle spice or whatever, but it was very good. And then I went to this had a burger from this place called Green, like the color green. It was completely vegan. Yes, vegan taco sound. They were very good, Maret. Thank you so much for your comment and for watching or listening. So I went to Green, which is a vegan, 100% vegan restaurant. And I got, it's called a New American Vegetarian Restaurant. Okay, that's what it's called. And I got the Big Whack. Instead of the Big Mac, they called it the Big Whack. It was two hand packed patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, tomato, pickles, and ketchup on a sesame seed bun, just like the Big Mac, but it's called the Big Whack, and it was very good. It was actually pretty good. I didn't eat there. I got that. My family brought it back to me, but it was very good, very flavorful. So I'm always looking for anything non-meat eats. So there you go. So those were my things, and then I stayed at the courtyard slash residence in one of those dual properties where they have two brands in one building. So one side was the courtyard, and the other side was the residency, and this was in downtown Phoenix. One thing that I was interested in is that to see the breakfast in the morning, to see what they've done with breakfast in the morning, because those places used to have I, I don't call it a buffet breakfast, but they used to have where you can make your own waffles, your oatmeal. They had everything out, and you just basically self-serve, help yourself. Well, they don't have okay, no more waffle makers, but they did do like these package or bagged packaged tacos. I mean, they're like in a, and they're, you buy them like that. They're already wrapped, and I think they microwave them and then you eat them, right? One of the kids got one, and he said it was okay. It had chicken, egg, and something else in it. He said sausage. It was all in this packaged taco, like a breakfast taco. Instead of a breakfast burrito, it was a breakfast taco. So it looked interesting. Oatmeal, of course, is the instant in the bag, so it's no longer in a big, warmer or whatever where you just ladle it out, but no, you have to make your own now. And then what else they have, and they give you a bag of like a brown paper bag, and it had fruit. It maybe had a banana, a muffin, and a granola bar, and these are all bagged up, so you just basically get it and go. So that's the new wave of food and beverage, at least for now, right? Because of the whole COVID thing. So that was interesting because I had not been to a hotel, and I wasn't there, and I was not there for breakfast. So this is the first time. So that experience was definitely different. And it just, I don't know, you got to different kind of feeling when I, like, wow, this is it. Service. I mean, just I don't know. I don't know. It just didn't have a good fit. It didn't set right with me. But those are the times that we live in, right? So either we deal with it or we don't, right? Either I can go somewhere else to eat, right? But it was convenient, and I got whatever I wanted out of there, I guess. And it came with orange juice. That's what it was. That is a little packaged orange juice as well. So there you go. Are we being consistent? Hotels, are we being consistent with our messaging during COVID times? What does that mean? That means, are we sending out messages about our protocols? Meaning, are these on our websites? Are new protocols or existing protocols, are they on our websites? Have we updated our websites? I just said that. Have we updated our websites with our new protocols? Have we posted pictures or videos showing our protocols or procedures on social media platforms? That's one thing I haven't seen. Okay, people don't do that anymore, or they haven't done it at all. And one thing I noticed, do you remember a couple of weeks, I mean, a while back, when hotels were saying that they were going to, once a room has been cleaned, they're going to seal it, and then once you break that seal, you're the first one in there since their room has been inspected. Well, only Hilton is doing that, from what I've seen. Now, if any other brand is doing it, Marriott's definitely not doing it. But if other brand other than Hilton is doing it, let me know. But what I've seen, Hilton's been consistent with it. Marriott is definitely not doing it, but they are doing the electrostatic machine, which is that little, looks like a space age ray gun that they spray sanitation solution all over the room. I actually saw that in use. The guy didn't see me. I kind of was like sneaking around, like, let me take a look at this thing. But yeah, so they definitely do use that, so which is good. But I see over cleaning. I didn't see any of that. Not that I really expected to, but it's always good to see that stuff. But they did put out a video, and this was a video that was in your room. So if you're a guest in the room, you see the video of what the protocols for the cleaning. But what would be great, and I didn't see this because I'm a Marriott Bonvoy member, their frequent stay program or whatever, and I have not got that video. That would be great if they would send that video to all their members, and maybe they did that, maybe I just didn't see it. But if they sent that video that showed their protocols, their cleaning protocols, to all their members, that would be great. And I don't know if they've done that, but that would be good if they did that. Because only time I saw it, I'm a guest in the room, and it's on the information channel. So as soon as you turn the TV on, that's the commercial or the information that's being displayed is how they're cleaning the rooms, which is great. But they need to see that before they even get to the hotel, right? Just me. That's just me. I mean, that's just what I think, and that's how I would have done it. Because are we showing our staff utilizing our protocols, using masks, cleaning, keeping housekeeping sexy? I'm big on that. Keeping, putting housekeeping up front, showing these videos of housekeeping, cleaning these rooms thoroughly, using the electrostat machine or whatever kind of cleaning protocols you have. Those things need to be consistent. They need to be consistent on your website, and you need to be able to go to the hotel and actually see those too. Because say I'm looking at your website and people are in masks, but I go to the hotel and no one has a mask on. And that may be coming soon because there's a lot of stores here in LA or in United States or US that have, gone away from using masks. Major, stores, like I can't remember all the stores. I mean, like Home Depot or Lowe's. I think those were maybe a couple of the stores that said, okay, as long as you had your vaccination, you're good to go without a mask. Well, how do we even know that they actually had their vaccination? We don't know that right now. We're on the honor system. But anyway, that's a whole nother can of worms, and that's not what my show is about. So, but anyway, all I'm trying to say is be consistent. Whatever is on your website, that needs to be consistent with what's going on in real life when people check into your hotel. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So make sure things are consistent. Contact information. How do you get a hold of Russell of Hotels? Russell at russellofhotels.com. Twitter, I'm at Russell of Hotels. IG, Russell of Hotels. LinkedIn, I'm at Russell L. Edmond, which is my real name. And Facebook, Russell L. Edmond. And I have another Facebook page, which is Russell of Hotels. YouTube, Russell of Hotels. Clubhouse, Russell or Russell of Hotels. And then my website is russellofhotels.com. Do you get the theme here? Be consistent with your brand. Whatever it is, be consistent. Okay, that's what that means. Marketing disruptor, that's what I am. I try to be. So there's sponsorship opportunities if you're interested in, having your hotel being displayed. See the ticker at the bottom? Just imagine your hotel was ticking across the bottom there, and how many people would actually put eyes on there and see, oh, russellofhotels.com, show number 108 on air of Russell of Hotel. Just imagine that you were, whatever XYZ hotel was being displayed there. So those are some of the things that you get when you want to promote through Russell of Hotels. So what if you're opening up your restaurant? Coming on May 19th, the new Russell restaurant opening in, Los Angeles. I'm just using that as an example, but those things could be put on there. Grand reopening of your restaurant, announcing your new business. All those things can be displayed if you were to, want to promote through me. Just reach out, Russell at russellofhotels.com. Go to my website, russellofhotels.com, and just look and see there's a sponsorship page there. You'll be able to see what's included in that if you are indeed interested. What is the Russell of Hotels group? I do a lot of things, do branding, digital marketing, via social media, help build your presence through videos, postings, etc., content creation, however you want to put it. You can actually even make reservations through my website. Who knew, right? I do hotel site selection, which has kind of, I actually have a couple contracts out now for some clients. So that was something that was big, a couple of years ago prior to COVID, but, things have kind of slowed up. Let's just say that. But, are those things coming back? I don't know. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And I do a live show. I'm a live show host. I have a podcast, interview today's hospitality professionals, and I'm a disruptor of the status quo. So those are some of the things that Russell of Hotels does. Collaboration, connecting people, pointing people in the right direction. At least that's what I try to do. So any questions at all, you can always feel free to give me a call, because people will call me about the darndest thing sometimes, but obviously they want some help with it, and I'm there to assist. So whatever questions you have, no question is too silly or stupid or dumb or whatever you want to say, or just out there. Anything regarding hospitality, hotels, you have those questions, feel free to give me a call. I try to be that resource if I can. How is your professional or personal brand staying relevant? These are 4 questions I ask every week. That's number 1. Number 2, knowing what you know now, is there anything that you are doing differently? Number 3, have you connected with anyone new lately? And number 4, what has the situation taught you? And the situation meaning, COVID, dealing with the COVID, maybe hotels closing down, or maybe you're not having enough skills to go on to the next step and do something else. Has it taught you not to put all your eggs in one basket? Maybe to reinvent yourself, or to swerve like, I've done. I do 4 different things, right? So if one of those things are not going well, then I have 3 other ones that I can jump on and do. And then you keep going and going until you find that sweet spot. So there's nothing wrong with swerving, reinventing yourself, educating yourself. So this time, hopefully we've taken advantage of this lull, or this kind of a break, if you will, because there's a lot of information out there that we can be gathering and utilize to our benefit. So let's just make sure we're doing that. I had to take another drink. Hotels, are you selling differently? Are you marketing more or less? Hopefully you're marketing more. Are you keeping your brands in front of your competition? At the end of the day, it's about your competition. What are you doing that your competition is not doing? Group business and corporate business will not come back as fast as we think. God bless, the people with Conference Direct and Helms Briscoe. Everybody wants, meetings to come back, right? Yeah, and eventually they will come back, but will they come back? Will they come back the way we think they're going to come back? Will they come back with a vengeance, like 2019? That was one of some people's best meeting output ever, right? You know, I booked more meetings in 2019 than I booked any other year prior to that, right? Will it come back to that? No, I don't think so. And I think for hotels, this is the issue. Okay, um, meetings will not be the same size, so that creates a problem. Okay, so what's the problem? The problem is competition. The problem is competition, meaning the meetings are going to be smaller and they're going to be fewer. So there's more. There's still hotels. There's the same hotels are there, right? You still have your competition. Everybody's gonna be fighting for that one small piece of business out there, right? I mean, I can just already see it. People don't want to believe it. They don't want to see it. But I mean, this is Russell of Hotels saying this. But and just based on what I've seen, based on what I've heard, I don't go off half cocked. I mean, I get this information from someone that's still in the industry, someone that somebody that I respect well, has a lot of respect in the industry, and they give me this information, right? They say, hey, this is what's going on. I just want to keep you abreast, right? And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. So I don't think there's going to be enough. There's not going to be enough group business to go around. So there's going to be a lot of rate cutting, rate slashing, because everybody wants that particular piece of business, right? So with that being said, rates. So I'm offering this rate, I'm offering that rate. My competition undercutting me, and now we're offering the same rate. Let's just say same piece of business, three hotels. They're offering the same piece of business. What would persuade that group or that organization, that company, that meeting planner to use your particular hotel? What would persuade them? All rates are the same, right? They're offering the same rate. What would persuade them? Would it be your social media presence? I don't know, but there has to be something that's going to differentiate you. Are you doing more marketing? Are you doing promotion? Because it has to be something different, right? Because like I said, everything, the rates are going to be the same, right? Let's just say I'm using it as an example. Your rates are the same. What would be the deciding factor? To me, and I always go back to the social media piece, right? To me, the deciding factor is how often someone sees you, how often someone sees your brand, how much presence does your brand have on social media, how much presence do you have on social media. I mean, those are the things that will persuade people. I mean, other than you offering this rate, but like I said, all rates are the same. What else can you offer? You're going to offer points? Well, maybe the other hotel can offer points too. And let's just say they're all branded hotels where they can offer points, right? So everything's the same. What would be the deciding factor? You're going to send them something. You're going to, call them more often. You're going to send them more emails. What are you going to do? There's something you have to do to differentiate. Am I even saying that right? You have to be different than your competition. You have to bring something else to the table. So, I mean, if that's social media, if that's maybe this particular hotel, there may be, or this particular director, or whatever, they're doing more lives. Maybe they're starting to do lives. Maybe they do a podcast. Maybe they're a guest on air with Russell of Hotels. Maybe they have brand advocates. There has to be something that will differentiate your hotel from your competition. So that's all I'm saying. I just don't think we do enough. And when I say we, I mean hoteliers, hoteliers, however you want to put it, people in the hotel space. I just don't think we do a good enough job with putting out, creating a viable presence on social media. I say this day in, week in and week out. So this is nothing new for me to say. And anyone that's listened to me, there's nothing new for you to hear. Because I've been singing the same song every week for years, or at least the 2 years I've been doing this show. So just make sure either we have some brand advocates and they can post for us. That's what a brand advocate could do. Someone that's just in love with your brand for no other reason other than they love your brand, right? Maybe it's the location, maybe they love the rooms, whatever. But there's that's someone that stays at your hotel day in and day out without any issues, right? Those are people that you want. So that's a brand advocate. Are you doing podcasts? Are you on someone's podcast? Are you talking about your brand, talking about yourself? That's what you can come on this show to do, right? You can come on and talk about your brand. If the brand is you, that's fine as well, right? And a lot of people don't realize that You are the brand, right? You just happen to be a brand that works for another brand that's representing a brand, right? But people buy you. They buy from you. They're not, you know, the sign on the building. No, I mean that's nice that you have a sign on the building, and maybe that comes with some points and things like that because I'm a frequent stayer or whatever. But at the end of the day, salespeople, they're buying from you. You're the one that resonates with them. Okay, so what are you doing? What is your brand doing to get those people out there? Like I said, podcasts, you can be a guest on here, lives, you can do your own lives, social media presence. You can do, everyone could do a social, have social media presence. There's no way that you shouldn't do it. And the only, I mentioned this a while ago, the only bad social media presence is if you don't do it at all. So you have to do something that makes you different than your competition. No other way around it. No other way around it. All rates are the same. What are you going to do that's different? Boom. I'm done. Shout out to Joe T. Joe Tatizian with Aimbridge Hospitality. Just happen to have, you know, we catch up every now and then, and we happen to catch up this morning. So it's always good to talk to Joe. He's, like I said, he's a VP with Aimbridge Hospitality, and we used to work together. So it's always good to catch up. That goes back to, have you talked to anyone new lately, or have you connected with anyone lately? Okay, someone you haven't talked to in a while. So I hadn't talked to Joe in a while, so I reached out to him this morning and said, "Hey, what's going on?" I texted him, said, "What's going on?" He called me right back. Said, we talked for about 40 minutes. He said, "You know what? I was only going to give you 20 minutes. I actually gave you 20 more minutes." That's what he said. So we talked about 40 minutes a day. So thank you so much, Joe, for that. And Julie Verdusco, shout out to Julie Verdusco, DOS at the Lake Arrowhead Resort. She reached out to me yesterday because guess what? They're looking at doing something to get more presence for their hotel. So, you know, they call Russell of Hotels and ask, you know, "Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that?" So I'm actually going to go up there to Lake Arrowhead Resort next week and check out the property and do some talking about, you know, what's going on and in the area and how maybe we get more presence for, you know, for them and whatever. So, but Julie and I used to work with Sunstone Hotels. We go back with Sunstone Hotels years ago, like 100 years ago. We go back. So it was always good to talk to Julie as well. So thank you so much, Julie, for reaching out. And maybe we can get a Russell of Hotels rated at hotel. You know what? That's one thing I've been trying to. Hotels should have a Russell of Hotels rate, and what that entails is this is all it entails. Okay, so when hotels, when I approach you for this is the only thing it entails, and I talk about your hotel every week. Just think about that. I'm talking about your hotel every week because you have this Russell of Hotels rate, and it goes to thousands of people. Okay, so all I need is a rate that's $1 less than your bar rate, your best available rate. That's all Russell Hotels rate is. Boom. And you can track it. I add a number, you can track it. So boom, there you go. So you'll know exactly, you know, does this Russell Hotel, does it generate anything? Well, you load it into your system and we'll see, right? There's a way to track it. So that's what I'm looking for. Russell of Hotels rate. So take that, just think about that for a minute. Let that percolate and marinate for a while. Um, we're about to, we're nailing this thing down. We're about to be out, meaning the show's about to come to an end. Marketing, I mention this every week, and this is my quote, right? Marketing is never about you. It begins with your audience and what they want. Once you know what your audience wants, connect them with the product or service in a way they want to receive it. So how do you reach people? I want to be reached through Instagram. Okay. So are you sending things to me through Instagram, or are you still emailing me? You know, I don't want things emailed to me. I want you to DM me, right? That's how I'm reached. Okay. That's just an example of what marketing can be. Are you going to do a targeted approach, or just a shotgun approach where it doesn't matter who it hits? I just want to put it out there. Well, is that sometimes, excuse me, sometimes that's a good thing, but sometimes that's a bad thing. More than not, it's a bad thing, right? You want to target specific groups, okay, of people. Um, when first you gotta know who your target market is, right? So anyway, so that's what marketing is to me. I'll read it one more time. Marketing is never about you. It begins with your audience and what they want. Once you know what your audience wants, connect them with your product or service in a way they want to receive it. Brand advocate. I mentioned this a while ago. A brand advocate is a guest or employee of a business who proactively shares information about your hotel to their networks via social media, word of mouth, email, through content without any incentive other than their love for your brand. So every hotel has brand advocates, right? Or even restaurants, they have brand advocates, people that come to your restaurant or your hotels every single time without fail. And they bring other people. Those are the people that you want to put the word out about your particular hotel. Sometimes they even post for you. It's not illegal. Why don't we approach these people? I mentioned this on a live that I did the other day, that I did on IG. Why don't we approach people? We have these great guests. They never complain. They love our brand. They come, they spend money, they stay with us day in and day out, a week in or week out, or whatever it is. We see them all the time. We say hello to them. Why don't we ask them, say, hey, Mr. Smith, I notice you're here a lot, and we're trying to get more business, and I wonder if you would be a brand advocate for us. Well, what is that? Well, it will entail you doing a live talking about why you like our location or our brand. It could be because, well, my office is down the street, or it's next to where my mom lives. Whatever the reason is, we need more brand advocates. And ending the show, I always end the show with these 4 P's. I call them the ROH 4 P's. ROH stands for Russell of Hotels. Purpose: know why you're doing what you're doing. People: be a leader, but be inclusive. Passion: either you have it or you don't. Perseverance: be consistent, continue to evolve, don't give up, and swerve when you need to. Leaders need to have more empathy during these COVID times, be more inclusive with your team. Use this time to develop yourself, separate yourself from the pack, learn something new, invest in your future, and always stay relevant. Focus on what you can control. That other crap, don't even worry about it. Your brand is your culture. Leadership dictates where your company will go. That's it. That's all I got. But thank you so much for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. Hopefully you were able to get something from there. You're able to glean some information from there. Anytime you have any questions at all, please feel free. There's not a bad time to contact me. You can always email me. People call me all hours of the darn day, asking me questions, and I don't have a problem with that. So, it's all about resources, and I'm here to hopefully be a resource for people that need some assistance. So that's what I'm here to do. That's why I call myself Russell of Hotels. So anything hospitality related, hotel related, restaurant related, whatever it is in the hospitality field, I'm here to assist. So with that being said, I'm out. Today's Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday. Go have some tacos or something, and try to do something vegan, right? That's what I do. So, get some vegan going. You guys take care. And I think that's it. Peace.